way successfully that can actually tell us in practical terms the process of patenting. What do people need? You know, many people have heard about patent. They do not know how to go about it. They don't know the process. What are the challenges? What are the obstacles? Because I've interviewed some people, they did not file for patent because of challenges. But here today, we have people that have been able to navigate all those obstacles and challenges, and they have come out of it successfully. They already have patents, and they have commercialized some of them. So today, I'm very happy to have Professor Morakinyo and Professor Sanni to tell us how they have been able to do it so that people coming behind. I was thinking we will have many students here, PG students, so that they can learn, and lecturers too, so that people that want to go the way of patenting will be able to, based on the knowledge they will acquire from here today. I'm very hopeful. I know we have people that know what they are doing. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you, all our attendees. Thank you, all our academic fathers. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, my director. Thank you. Let me assure you that we have a good number of our postgraduate students here also as well, who are on their PhDs. I've seen a good number of them on the platform as we speak. We apparently share this with them as well on the URM platform. So they're also going to participate and partake in this. So very quickly, I'm going to bring Dr. Ayola hand over the microphone to Dr. Ayola to briefly, within 2-3 minutes, read the profile of Professor Morakinyo. And then thereafter, I'm going to do the same for Professor Lateef Sanni. Thank you so much. Dr. Ayola, over to you. Unmute yourself. Dr. Philip Ayola, are you there? Dr. Ayola, you're there. Unmute yourself.
Unmute. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, good
We can
afternoon,
hear you.
everyone. Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Willie, and my director and all dignitaries. I'm here to read the resume of Professor Tunde Afolabi Morakinyo. Professor Tunde Afolabi Morakinyo was born in Ogbono, Oyo State. He attended and graduated from Ebenezer Primary Day School, Okele in Ogbono, in 1976. Methodist Grammar School, Arowomole, Ogbono, and Ogbono Grammar School, Ogbono, in 1983 and 1984, respectively. He furthered his education to the Ibadan Polytechnic, Shaki Satellite Campus, Shaki in Oyo State, Nigeria, for his diploma certificate in agricultural engineering, and he graduated with upper credit in 1986. He proceeded to the University of Ilorin in Ilorin for his bachelor degree program to study agricultural engineering, and he graduated in 1990. He won Ondo State Best Copper Award in 1991, and he was gainfully employed into First Africa Gas Cylinder Manufacturing Company in Isolo, Lagos State in 1992 as a factory engineer. Professor Morakinyo Afolabi became a corporate member of Nigerian Society of Engineers in 1998, and likewise a registered engineer under the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria in 2001. He is also a member of Academic Science of Africa in 2020. He has 17 years cognizant industrial working experience, both in metal forming technology and engineering service company, such as Midas Cylinder Company Isolo, Lagos in 1992 to 1999, Radiance Farms, Abeokuta in 1999 to 2000, Mambis Precision Company, Ijebu-Ode in 2000 and 2001, Architectural Products and Acofoam, Abeokuta in Ogun State in 2001 to 2003, and Freedom Group of Company, Benin City, as National Plants Manager in 2003 to 2007. Before joining academic in 2007, Professor Morakinyo was employed as a lecturer 2 into Department of Agricultural Engineering in Auchi Polytechnic, Auchi on Edo State. In order to fulfill his academic goal as a noble scholar, he furthered his academic career to the premier university, University of Ibadan, to acquire MSc and PhD in agricultural and environmental engineering in 2010 and 2014, respectively. He transferred his service to Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Osun State in 2012 into Department of Food Science and Technology, Faculty of Technology. He rose from ranks and files from lecturer 2 to the position of professor in 2023. Professor Morakinyo is an enthusiastic, dynamic inventor par excellence, a reputable food engineer with 15 years industrial working experience and 18 years teaching and research in production engineering and food engineering and food process engineering. A renowned scholar with 40 published articles in reputable international and local journals, including 4 patented innovations in Nigeria. He is a reviewer and educator and an editor in several local and international journals. He has mentored hundreds of undergraduate students in both polytechnic and university, 5 masters and 2 PhD students in both mechanical and food science technology departments of Obafemi Awolowo University. He has won several research grants, fellowships, and awards. Professor Morakinyo newly awarded as an agricultural engineer with the highest number of patents by the Nigerian Institute of Agricultural Engineering in 13th of November 2025. He is a representative of the University Senate Committee at Center for Energy Research and Development. He has developed over 30 food processing machines, gas cylinder, cookers and cylinders, water heater, industrial boiler, bread bake oven, dough prover, etc. Professor Morakinyo is an inventor of a synchronized medium-scale palm oil fruit processing plant in Nigeria, a multi-purpose industrial boiler of 20 bar superheated steam pressure, an off-grid biomass-powered power plant of 1.2 kilowatt, and synchronized padding rice processing mill, using appropriate technology with local content approach. Other machines are heat exchanger, dryer, pyrolyzer, and reactors. Professor Morakinyo shared his knowledge by mentoring 3 inventors within Obafemi Awolowo University and beyond, who eventually registered 5 patents successfully. His area of specialization are machine design, metal forming technology, food process plant design, plants layout design, heat exchangers, plant installations, upgrading, renovation, commissioning, and optimization. He is married to Mrs. Abidemi Morakinyo, and God blessed their union with 4 children. He is a devoted Christian and a pastor in Deeper Life Bible Church Ministry, Ile-Ife region, Osun State, Nigeria. Thank you for listening.
So much, Dr. Ada. Thank you so much. Thank you,
sir. Thank you.
I think let me quickly recognize the people that just joined us as well, that have been on board. Dr. Ebola is part of us, Dr. Bizaranyalade, Dr. Mudiegu, Dr. Oyebisi Oyewole, and Dr. Shobanke. Yes, he's a friend. He has been with us. He passed through AISPI here. And yes, this is another big fish. Professor Shayejagede, I can cite you. Thank you for coming. We are glad to have you. We are glad to see you. He has been very supportive of this Institute. Thank you so much. We're glad to have you. So,
thank you,
very
Professor
quickly,
Jegede. I appreciate you.
in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to read the citation of Professor Lateef Sanni, PhD, MBA, MNHE, MNSE, R. Koren. Is after completing his NYC in Kagoro, Kaduna State. Professor Sanni started his professional career as a senior technologist in the Department of Agricultural Engineering, University of Agriculture, Makurdi, Benue State, where he worked from 1990 to 1993. Because of his passion for research, he joined the Department of Agricultural Engineering at Obafemi University as a graduate assistant in 1994. Professor Sanni's MSc thesis was awarded Best Thesis in the Faculty of Technology during the 1999 convocation ceremony of the university. Under the supervision of Professor Mike Faborode, he got a PhD in agricultural engineering and rose to become professor in 2018 in the same university, Obafemi University. His PhD research project was the basis for other national and international innovation awards in subsequent years. For over 3 decades, Professor Sanni has gathered wealth of experience in post-harvest machinery, design, and manufacturing. He has worked on many national research and development projects in collaboration with governmental and non-governmental organizations like NACETEM, Raw Materials and Development Council, RMRDC, SMIDAN, NOTAP, DFID, UNDP, among others. Out of passion to make greater impact in Nigeria's agro-industry sector, Professor Sanni founded Sandel Engineering Services as a startup company in 2008. Sandel Engineering became a limited liability company in 2010. Is today a fast-growing local manufacturing company, providing innovative agro-processing machinery solutions to both individual and corporate customers in Nigeria. Having practiced as an academic and industrialist for over 2 decades, Professor Lateef Sanni can truly be described as a thoroughbred agricultural engineer and silent achiever within Nigeria's science, technology, and innovation ecosystem. He has 4 patents to his credit, out of which 3 have been successfully commercialized. As evidence of his expertise and achievements in the design and manufacture of agricultural processing machines in Nigeria, Professor Sanni has won many national and international awards, among which he was awarded the first prize national award for the design and construction of manually operated cassava sifting machine for Gari production, awarded by National Office of Technology Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP. It was also the best research projects. He also got the best research projects and second prize national award for the design and construction of an automated cassava cake pulverizing machine, awarded by NUC. He also got the 4th prize national award for the design of a system for separating palm kernels from broken shells, awarded by Raw Materials and Development Council. He also got the 1st prize national award for the design of a 4D 3P conductive rotary dryer for agricultural materials, awarded by Raw Materials and Development Council. He was also shortlisted among the best 16 engineering innovators in Africa for the development of a 3D 3P conductive rotary dryer for animal feed production. This was done by Royal Academy of Engineering UK at the 5th African Prize for Engineering Innovation during the event in Uganda 2019. He was also shortlisted among 26 innovators in Africa to be awarded COVID-19 response support to establish a 3D printing and vacuum forming laboratory in Nigeria, but also Royal Academy of Engineering in UK during the year 2021. Professor Lateef Sanni is happily married with 4 children. 4 children. Thank you. So without much ado, we are going to go straight away to what we have to do. We have read the citation of the people that want to speak to us today. and we can see that indeed these are people with core experience when it has to do with how to conduct research and then take the same to the laboratory. Take the same from the laboratory to the industry, commercializing some of these things. So we're going to see. But then we have been talking about patent because we have some postgrad students among us. Some of them may not know what is patent. So we'd like to start from there. We'd like you to start from talking to us about what is this concept of patents. When we say patents, what are we talking about? So that at least once we wet that ground and we have the understanding, we know the concept that we're talking about. So I'm going to push this to Professor Sanni to lead us in this in about a minute or two regarding
Thank
what
you
is
very
this
much.
concept of
Thank you,
patent.
Dr.
Thank you.
Awoleye. I want to confirm that everybody can hear me loud and clear.
We can hear you very clearly, very loud. It's very loud.
All right. Thank you very much for reading my very short citation. And I also want to thank the management of ISP for actually inviting me to serve as a panelist in this very interesting discussion. Well, let me just quickly go to the question, which is going to be interactive. A patent, like most people, hardly understand, is just a paper. It is a certificate, and I can show you. You can look at this is a copy of one of my patents. It's a legal document or a legal instrument that actually, grants exclusive right to the owner of an inventor. All right, we're going to be talking later on about the processes of getting this documentation. If you look at this patent certificate, which was granted to me in 2017 and actually signed by the president in 2018, you'll find out that it gives me an exclusive right of 20 years during which I will be the sole ownership. In other words, nobody else in Nigeria, because it's a Nigerian patent, that can copy or try to make use of that invention without, permission or request for permission from me. So that is basically, patents has certain advantages, and I'll quickly run through them. It protects your idea, from being copied and taken advantage of by other people, especially Chinese people always come to Nigeria, exploit Nigerian researchers and so on, and take ideas from here, go back, incubate it, perfect the technology, and then they start selling back to us. I've been a victim of that, on some occasions. It also gives the exclusive right to use or sell. In other words, you can commercialize. It attracts investors. If you have a product today that is patented, it is easier for you to get a company or an investor to invest in that technology. In fact, in some cases, it is a condition for investors to bring in their money to partner with you. So there are several advantages of patents that we will be talking about as we go on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. That's very succinct. Please permit me to introduce Professor Aderounmu. He has been with us. I'm sorry, it skipped my mind. Thank you for coming. We are glad to have you, sir. Thank you so much. God bless you. So my next question, since we now have clarity about what the word patent is, I'm not going to ask Professor Morakinyo to speak to that again. I'm just going to ask him to tell us what are your motivations. What are the things that actually say that, oh, wait a minute, I think it is better for me now to begin to go to patenting some of my researches and things like that. We want to know, what are your motivations? What motivated you towards having a paradigm shift towards patenting? Professor Morakinyo, sir, what are your motivations?
Thank you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Just go on. You are good to go.
Yes. Good afternoon, the panelists and my co-panelists and the organizer, the ISP director, and the Dr. Awoleye, and all the participants this wonderful webinar. What really motivated me to go into patenting of my innovation or invention rather was that I realized that once the idea is with you and you bring it out and people look at it, they replicate and they may even take it out of you. Even the experience tells me after I patented it that people still struggle with it with me. Very embarrassing. Instead of them to go and look for their own, they started dragging it with me. So in Africa per se, when you have an idea, instead of people to come around and support you to upgrade it or make it more impactful or more relevant to the society, people look at how they're going to discredit what you have, take it away from you, rob you of it. So I just thank God, because there was a year in 2026 after I finished my PhD, my supervisor was eagerly pressing on me to publicize, to publish my journal, my article
Last
on
statement
my
briefly.
PhD.
Let's wait. Or is this?
Are you hearing me? I don't know whether I'm
Yes,
making.
I can
Yes,
I
we
can
can
hear
hear
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, sir.
So the whole thing was that go and publish your articles so that you can move forward in life. But I have an urge within me that this invention is a unique synchronized medium palm oil processing mill. It's a unique. It has a many components, many machines that are there, and it's like the summary of all my labor in the land of living. How can I just allow it to remain unpatented? I have to be trained by university, because I was opportune to attend Barima 2028 or so, 2019. 2019. So I was trained how to bring patent into a reality. So after I came out of that, I come back from that training, I decided, my brother, my sister, I decided that I must start writing my patent document. And God so helped me. So what motivated me is to protect my originality, my invention, is to take it away from people that want to steal it at all costs, either by the foreigners, because I heard that Professor Morakinyo is the first person that invented Andoyam. They didn't patent it, and they took it away from him. Professor Ilori happened to be my mentor. He came to me, he said, young man, patent this thing that you are doing, and I will help you. So he helped me a lot. Professor Ilori, he helped me a lot. So he took me around, and he took me along to the Warima for the training, and I was exposed to the knowledge and integrity of our patent. That really what motivated
Thank you so much,
me.
Prof. Thank you so much, Prof. I think in a minute as well, we'd like to quickly hear same question. Let me pose this to Professor Sanni as well, because we also need to share from your experience regarding how you are motivated to beginning to think about
Thank you.
patenting your researches. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. There are very clear reasons that motivated me to get into patenting. And my first patent was actually granted in 2017, like I said. The first important reason is lack of satisfaction with the publish or perish syndrome in the university system, generally in Nigeria. Back before 2017, there were very few patents even in the Obafemi Awolowo University, especially in my faculty, the Faculty of Technology. And then the second reason is that I discovered very early enough that patents are also conditions for promotion to become a professor or to become a reader in the university system. As a matter of fact, a patent is equivalent to 2 published articles, which is about 10 points. And to publish, the points you get for an article is just 5. So that motivated me actually. I said, well, why can't I use a patent? Even though it was controversial when I was going to use my patents to actually get my promotion to become a professor at that time. The third reason is the determination to get my innovations into the market. I was frustrated actually at a point. I was publishing my research findings, go for exhibitions. I represented the university in several exhibitions in Abuja, in Lagos, and all over the place. And sometimes you find out that even when you attend exhibitions, just like Professor Morakinyo said, people come, take pictures, they record videos, and then they go back and repackage the technology. And before you know it, you see your, your research product, somewhere else. That has happened to me a few times. So these are very strong 3 reasons that motivated me, to actually begin to patent. And it's been success stories, ever since. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so much. That's quite interesting. We're glad to have that. Same question I'm going to put, another question I'm going to put to you before you leave the stage. It's about, we need to know, when did you realize commercial value from patenting? When did you, at what point did you get started when it has to do with patenting?
Yeah, thank you very much. As a follow-up question, actually my first patent, like I said, was granted in 2017, and it was actually my PhD research project, which was titled A Conductive Rotary Dryer for Gari Production. My PhD work was extensively on cassava production, and then the products that we can get from cassava, which happens to be gari and cassava flour. And it was a huge success, after the completion of that project. But because I had registered a startup company back in 2010, because of the same reasons that I gave that motivated me into patenting, it was easier for me to now use my platform. At that time, there was no much, the research policy in Obafemi University does not give room. You're just on your own, you do all the research work, you spend your money and all that. Of course, you use some of the laboratory facilities provided by the university. I wasn't satisfied with that status, so it was easy for me to, get the companies. There were so many cassava processing companies all over the place. And of course, the first person I went to was an established cassava company in Ogun State. And I told him that, look, this technology will be very good for frying your gari, because generally gari was manually fried, and it still happens in majority of those people who produce our gari today. So that was my first contact with the industry. But the patent actually gave me that moral boost to be able to walk up to the company and told them that, look, I have a technology that will actually help your company to grow. And that was the beginning of the patronage for some of these technologies that we have done over the years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you. Let me push this to Professor Morakinyo. In the journey of patenting, translating your researches from the laboratory to the industry, or to filing patent and then getting it approved, what are some of the challenges you faced in the process? We are still going to come back to talk about the steps, the procedure to get our researches translated to that. But then let me just ask you first. What are your experiences in terms of, is it so easy? Do you just sit in your office and then you just press the button and everything is set?
Thank you, my panelist, Dr. Awuyele. It wasn't an easy journey at all. Actually, when you have a concept and you want to bring it out to patent it, you have to think about how am I going to develop this, my patent document, to make it acceptable? And what are the structure? How am I going to get it written? I told you that the first exposure that I have is a training under Warima. So I listened attentively to the person that trained us that time, and I wrote everything down line by line, and I come to the conclusion that all this what they are reading are asking for, the structure of it, the abstract, the Power Act, the invention, the body of inventions, what led you there, whatever, is not the thing that is far away from me. So what is inside of me? The originality, the fundamental. So once someone has the fundamental that back up the invention, the working principle, the working component. For instance, I'm in the area of machine design. As my co-distinguished professor said, we are in the same area. So you have the idea of what we need to do. And you have already carried out the preliminary studies, and you prototype the idea. That is, you bring the concept into a feasible device.
Okay, Prof, thank you so much. Before you leave as well, I'd like to also move straight away to another aspect, which has to do with the processes. How do we get our researches patented? But before you begin to say that you want to patent your research, I want to ask a question about how do you identify that this particular research is patentable? How do you know? Is it that something will just drop in your spirit that, oh, this one out of the research that I've done is patentable, or what? What are the things that will give you the glimpse before you begin to put those papers together to file in the patents for that research? So I'm saying that here, that what are the things? I'm still talking to Professor Morakinyo, please. Can you do that before you go in 2 minutes? Tell us how do you identify patentable research? Thank you. Are you there, Professor Morakinyo, sir? Okay, well, you have to unmute.
I unmute myself now. See, when you have a concept, it's an idea. Does the idea add value? Is it new? Is it really new? Because we cannot invent a wheel. So is that idea added additional value to what is existing? Does that idea that you have, is it marketable? Can it be able to help people to do things better? Maybe there's a difficulties in getting things done. For instance, in my first patent, which happens to be my PhD research, is synchronized medium scale palm oil processing mill. So I have a concept. The concept is that I want to process palm fruits using appropriate technology. The technology that is existing is archaic, is unhuman, is unethical, is not scientific, is full of drudgery, hardship. How can a woman be go inside a pit and be marching with his leg? So I think about, how am I going to sterilize under a medical condition, not under atmospheric condition? So my concept is based on the knowledge that I've acquired in classroom, in textbooks. Heat transfer, mass transfer. I could see that it's not existing anywhere. I went around the palm oil processing mill. I cannot find them practicing it. All what they are doing in Nigeria is traditional method. So I have a drive within me that what I'm doing has a value and it has a market for it. So I come into conclusion, instead of them cooking, I will develop a boiler. Boiler, the concept is in the textbook, but I need to bring it out into a reality. How will I do it? Well, I've never seen a boiler being dissected for me to see the interior. Nobody reveal to you. Nobody will teach you. But by the idea, by inspiration, and by the knowledge, that I've gathered so many years in industry, I could see that I can handle it. And I believe what I'm receiving.
Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you so much, Prof. I was able to develop my concept, adding value.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so much, Prof. That's quite interesting and impressive. Yes, now that we have seen,
can I quickly add one thing to that?
Yes, Prof, sir.
Yeah, just for the benefit of our peers, our early career researchers in the university, because that's a very difficult part that you just asked, whether a research product or a research output is patentable. I can tell you from experience that not all research outputs are patentable for so many reasons. And of course, it doesn't invalidate that research process, because you're able to get some findings that will be useful to some other kinds of people. But a research that is patentable has to have novelty, which Professor Morakinyo, dwelled on. It has to be new. It has to be different from existing things. If it is about the same principle, what value have you added to the existing technology or existing product? Secondly, a research product has to be non-obvious. It's very important. I mean, if for instance you take a bricklayer who mixes water, sand, and cement to make a block, what is so fantastic about that is something that an ordinary bricklayer can do. If you're now coming out with another method of mixing sand, water, and cement, and you say it's a research product and you want to patent that, that shows it is obvious. If it is anything that an ordinary artisan can reproduce, then it is not patentable. And you will know as a researcher how simple to reproduce that technology or that product is. The third reason is that it has to have utility. Utility is very important. What do we mean by utility? That is industry application. It has to have market value. If you introduce that technology or that product to a company, will it add value to their existing processes? Will it improve on their existing processes, and so on and so forth? So these are three major characteristics: novelty, non-obviousness, and of course, utility. Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you for that addition. But then, as a rider to that, I was wondering, is it only engineers that can patent? And then what about people whose profession are not into machine fabrication or production and all of that? I mean, what other things? Is it only tangible products that we can patent or work on? So I mean, we'd like to know.
Yeah.
Can I take that one? Okay. Thank you for that question. It's not only, am I on?
As you are on, Prof.
Yes.
Go on, sir. Just for about a minute, only 1 minute.
It's not only machine design that someone can patent. Someone can also patent the food processing stages. For instance, a recipe of a particular food product. One of my patentees, my mentees, my mentee, he patented in this food science and tech, he patented a recipe of Ogbono. They have been producing Ogbono, but Ogbono in a packaged way, in a way that including processing stages that is not in existence, and it bring new products out. It's patentable. Not only machine design of recipe, also you can patent a scientific invention. That is, you can even patent maybe a product, a chemical to solve a certain problem. So it's not engineering per se. You can patent anything that is novel, anything that is not common, that you can see. And once you can be able, that is not existing before, and when you can tell us the stages of getting it done. So it's not only machine that you can patent. You can
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prof.
You can patent many other things.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, I think we can also patent processes as well, even algorithms in computing. You can patent that and procedures of getting some things done. Then you can also save time on processes as well. If that procedure has fulfill some of the characteristics of patentable research, then you can also do the same. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, but then, Professor Sanni, I would like you to tell us the step-by-step of getting our idea to filing patents and to getting our patent approved. What do we have to do? Do we have any university
Thank you very much.
And all of that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Aole. The processes and the steps that will lead a research project or research product to a patent will actually vary from discipline to discipline. Just like we have mentioned, somebody who is a chemist, doing his research in chemistry department, for instance, the stages that are involved may be different from somebody like me in agricultural engineering. For somebody like me who is into design and fabrication of post-harvest agricultural processing machinery, the steps, I have identified about 10 steps. The first step is even to identify the problem that you're trying to solve, either from the industry or somebody comes to you and says, look, can you help me do this? We have these challenges and all that. And you say, yes. The next step is actually to conceptualize the solution. In other words, If somebody from a Garif or cassava manufacturing company comes to me and say, look, and I've received quite a lot of that kind of a request. So you conceptualize the solution. Once you are sure in your mind and in your head that, yes, this mechanism, of course, in doing that, a lot of things come into play. You have to do your literature review. You have to do a lot of things. Can you hear me? I understand the recording is stopping. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
We can. My
okay.
battery is about shutting down, so I want to push the recording to the cloud.
Oh, okay. The same thing here, and that's why I'm trying to rush through. The third step is actually to now design that solution. The fourth one is you fabricate the machine, which is the solution. It is very, very important that you test your solution after you have completed the research process. So in my own case, testing of the machine to determine its utility status is very, very important, because that is what we get at the end of the day. We get the product into the market or into the industry. The sixth step is actually modification of the design. In most cases, your research output will not be perfect the very first time that you achieve it, that you do it. So you need to reverse the process, look at where the design is wrong, and you can do that iteration so many times before the equipment is actually ready and has utility. The seventh step is that you do some series of modifications, to make the products fit for purpose. And at that stage, you can file a patent. Filing a patent is a long step and it's a long story. But fortunately, in this university, we have the IPTTO office, which is in charge of helping researchers in the university to actually, patent there. So you can get in touch with IPTTO. IPTTO has supported me a great deal to be able to patent
I think it's awful.
Well, I hope it will connect. It will connect back from his phone.
Yeah.
I guess his battery shut down from there. Me already have another connection on my phone as a backup, because this one will shut down as well any moment from now. You can also do the same, Sir Professor Morakinyo. If you have a connection on your phone, it will also assist. If peradventure we couldn't, your battery could not sustain until the end of the event. So, but then this question you're going to be helping us to respond to that.
Okay.
It's about was there any support structure to facilitate and to assist you in translating your research to patents? Did you get any support, maybe from the government, from your university, from friends, from wherever? Was there any record of that? And if there are records of that, we need to know, so that at least some of us that are also interested thereafter, we can also follow those footsteps. Thank you.
To be sincere with every one of us here, there was no any single support from either university or from individual or from government. I could remember vividly that when I have the drive to demonstrate the knowledge that God has given to me during my PhD, I said it openly to everybody. I sold my landed properties, 2 plots of land, in order to buy all the raw materials. The engineering items are very expensive in Nigeria. Am I communicating? Hello?
Yes, we can
Prof.
hear you, sir. Yes,
you can hear.
So I just have to go on my way by collecting loans here and there, even from university, from ASU during the strike. I got some support from the department. I got money from people, and I pay back. But it's only God has saw me through. It's a personal finance. I finance it by myself. No support anyway. So have I answered your question? So
yes,
it's just
very
a
well,
personal
Prof.
dream. I have a dream. I have this concept. I want to bring it to reality on my own.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, I think I read.
Can I add more to what Professor Sanni was saying concerning
Yes, please.
how do we bring this concept into a reality? So as he said, idealization is very important. You look at the existing problem and maybe somebody come to you, or you saw it, that this is a problem, this is a lacuna, this is a gap. Then you look at it, what does I have as engineering concept that can solve this problem? You iterate them together, you gather the information, and you now look at a workable solution. A workable solution, you look at what other people have already reported. That is, you gather the information around it. Then you now bring a genuine concept that will solve the problem. That is not that you are replicating what other people have done. Then you now go into detailed engineering drawing by freehand sketch. Then if you have a facility to do AutoCAD, you do AutoCAD and simulation, you try it to see how does it work, even without bringing it into a laboratory. Then after you consider that this thing is feasible, then you go into it, like what a MSc student is doing under me right now. We are developing a machine, a new Nobel equipment, and we are just moving from the laboratory now into cutting the working component of the machine and assemble it. After we have done that one, then we now need to evaluate. When we evaluate, there is an error. That is where my professor stopped. When you evaluate, you see an error there, you go back to your drawing. What are the things that runs with my concept? Is there any other thing I can do? You modify until when it can be able to see that the efficiency is high and is really add value. And you can present it to people. People can buy it. People can say, wow, this is what you have done. It's good. It solved this problem for me. It can solve that one problem for me. After you have done that one, then you give it out for people to test. If they test it, they say it's okay, then fine. Then you now move forward to say, okay, I cannot patent this. If you write any article there and you show your data and you show your equipment, the working principle, you have already opened, that you can't patent any longer. You can't patent what you have already published. So you have to keep it to yourself, all the design, all the design details, you have to keep it to yourself. And until when you now go, you now gather it and say, okay, I can write patent document. Once you know how to write patent document, if you don't know it, you consult people that are expert on it. They will guide you, because it has many components that you need to know. You need to structure it down from a field of invention. What area are you working with? Then the summary of the invention is like an abstract. Then what are the power acts? What led you there? Why do you come into this field? What is the new thing you want to do? Then you need to say it clearly. Maybe it's by intuition. Maybe somebody says something, and from there you develop inspiration to solve the problem. Where does it originate? Is it from is it by your friend, or by somebody help you to know it, or is within you to develop it alone? So if you develop it alone, so then you state it clearly. The operational procedures you have to tell us, and you have to show it to us. How do you evaluate? What are the values you got? And how do you prove it that it's a genuine thing? Then from there, you cannot go to patent claim. Patent claim is the strength of the patent. It's like, it's a claim, it's like you are writing a petition in a court of law. I claim this part, I claim that part. But that part that I mentioned in machines is not new. I mean, it's new. Nobody has ever done it. So this part is mine. I claim it, and it's a working component of so part, it works in this way, and you cover it. It's like you are bringing from the ear to the toe of a human being, the anatomy of human being. That is how you work it out.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. We are still going to have time when we get to the Q&A, where you're going to elaborate the more. But then, please, while you are preparing to share with us, I mean, some of the things of the benefits of patenting. I'm going to ask two of our big shots to contribute to this discussion, to give us 1 or 2 tips within 2 minutes, and then we'll then go on from there. But then please try to begin to think about sharing your experiences with us as regards any time that you think that researchers can also smile because they are being rewarded for their labor. Because it is one thing to patent, it is another thing not to just get anything from the patent on the 20 years will elapse. So we want to know, what are the things, what are some of the benefits that we can get from this based on your experience. I'm going to use this time to invite Professor, our DVC academic, So please chip in one or two things regarding some of these discussions we have been talking about, sir. We want to share from your experience as well. Can you speak to us on one or two things regarding this? Professor Aderounmu, sir. Is Prof still on board? Did I make him a co-host? If I did not make him a co-host, please, out of the people that have made co-host, can you help me try to ask him to unmute? Look for him, because I'm working with my phone now and I don't have that ability. Let me see. Because we have to ask him to unmute. Okay, I can do it, sir. Prof, sir, you can unmute now.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Awoleye, for that wonderful coordination. So I've listened to all the presentations and I was unable to, thank you that you are able to unmute me now. So I've listened to all the presentations, very interesting. Before I add few things, I've already posted something on the platform that, number one, I didn't agree with Professor Morakinyo that he didn't receive any support from the university. That is not true. And I can also say that he can also agree with me that he received a lot of support from the university. Number one, the name of the university is very key. All your patents that you got it through the university. So the name of the university is like a support. That's number one. So I just want you to know that. Number two, I remember that I facilitated your training with Professor Ilori to Ibadan on Warima. And you also claimed that when you came back, it was the exposure that you got there that launched you into the market. That's another support. So you see, so when you say you are not receiving any support from the university, I'm saying that it's not true. Even your office there, you use facilities of the university in terms of light, in terms of space, in terms of everything. So these are the supports. It's not compulsory that the university has to give you money to do one or two things, but there are some things that you can also use within the university, which eventually by the time we sit down and quantify it, it's going to be a lot of money. So I think you need to really correct this. Once you are within the system, within Obafemi University, you are getting a lot of things indirectly that you don't even know that is the university that is providing that. Apart from that, I also want to appreciate them for all what they have said. And I want to also appreciate the Institute for organizing this. And the one area that I want to really contribute is the area where, and you've already asked that question. You see, when you have your product and then you are going to the market, you face a lot of challenges. And one of the questions I want to ask the two panelists is that now you've got all these experiences in terms of getting your product being patented and then taking it to the market for commercial purpose, so that eventually, number one, you can create wealth for yourself. Number two, you can also build capacity of the younger ones if you're able to mentor them. And number three is for you to also impact the society. Using our local facilities. And that is one of the focus area of this present administration, where we can also develop a local product that can be used. But you see, by the time you are saying you want to commercialize your research, it's a lot of challenges that you face. Can they share some of these challenges? Because in my own area of research, as I mentioned in my last presentation, we develop a product, and the product is already with a company in Lagos. We are working together. But you see, political factors is not working against that product, because we now have some other interests. They are saying, okay, they have that same product, and then they want us to compete, blah, blah, blah. And eventually, our own product is even better than what they are saying. But because of the political factor, we are still on it now. So what are those challenges that you face in taking your product to the market? And number two is that, let me also say that, emphasize that, yes, it's good. We have a lot of our people with patents. Patents. When you say you have patent, 20 patents, 10 patents in abroad, you're already money. You don't need to look for any other thing again. But in Nigerian context, we have a lot of people with patents, but they are still complaining there's no money. So what is the cause of that? Because my own belief is that when you talk of patent, commercial products, if you have a product that I want to patent, number one, it's always good for you to carry along your stakeholders before you even embark on the solutions you are trying to look at. You carry along your stakeholders. So if you are able to get your stakeholders involved, and then you are able to solve the problem, then you go for patent, and eventually by the time you commercialize, I don't think there's any problem. So what are those challenges that you face in terms of taking your product through to the market? And number two is that now you have a lot of people with patents, and they are still complaining they don't have money. So what are the problems? Thank you so much.
Prof, thank you so much, sir. I quite appreciate that contribution. I think the first part is about Professor Morakinyo. I think he was thinking financial support, I guess, because ordinarily, you being in the university, using the time of the university to do all of that is also a form of support, and then using the office as well is a form of support. So I quite agree with DVC, but I thought your mind was only thinking about physical financial support. Okay, take this 500,000, take this 1 million naira. No, but then that's fine. I'm not going to allow you to respond immediately now, sir. Well, we are still going to come back to you. Professor Aderounmu has also raised some other pertinent questions that, yes, it's good. You already have patents, you have 2 patents, you have 5 patents, but then people are still poor. So, I mean, I've worked with Professor Siyanbola, and I can tell you these are some of the areas of his strength. So we can guide us on what are the likely things that may be responsible to, even though we are so intelligent, but then we are still very poor. Prof, sir, we'll give you the microphone for the next few minutes to educate us on this, on some of the posers that Professor Aderounmu has raised. Thank you so much. Professor Siyanbola, sir. Oh, I have to unmute. I have to ask him to unmute. 2 seconds. Okay. You can unmute now, sir. You can unmute now, Prof, sir.
Yeah, I've just done that. I'm not sure whether, can you hear me now, please?
We can hear you very clearly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moderator. Thank you, Madam Olakwasi. Of course, I have to acknowledge my DVC academics. Yeah, the issue that we've been talking about, especially the challenge or the issue of patent and so on, they are very important to modern day institutions, especially universities, because of our engagement in research, development, and innovation. 10, 15 years ago, the question that most people would ask is, should the universities innovate? Should universities innovate? The 2 exceptionally talented colleagues, Professor Sanni and Morakinyo, they are exceptional in the sense that for almost 20 years that I worked in the laboratory, I didn't have one single patent. And yet people would invite me to all sorts of meetings there and there. So we have to, for them, I think somebody said about 4 patents, another person 5 or 6 patents. These are exceptionally talented guys, and we have to give kudos to them. Now, patenting, especially coming from institutions like Obafemi Awolowo University, it gives you what we call bragging right. It gives you bragging right. It makes you can brag. You can say exactly what they have been saying. Now, for those of us with very deep knowledge of what it is, you know that apart from the bragging right, unless you have a structure in place, you may never become rich as a result of your patent. You may never. I listened to the 2 speakers and I think between the two of them, they got the issues right. For anything to be, any research outcome to be patentable, there must be some element of newness, what we call novelty. There must be what they call non-obviousness. It shouldn't be so clear to ordinary mind to see. It must also have some commercial value. And that's the reason I'm sure Professor Aderounmu, the DVC, has been saying that how come they're still not so rich? I know I don't have all the time, but in 2006, my keynote paper, Faculty of Science Week, was, if indeed we are so smart in the university system, why aren't we so rich? Why aren't we so rich? And that was the beginning of the discourse on patenting. In 2006, the whole of Nigeria, maybe we had about less than 50 patents. Today, in the last 10 years, the whole of Nigeria, we still have less than 1,000 patents. But I can tell you, institutions outside Nigeria, MIT, for example, will generate over 500 patents a year. University of Beijing, all these institutions I've visited and I've been to, will generate over almost 2 patents per day. That's because they have learned how to. There's a need for us to learn how to. I have delivered, I think, about 3 or 4 lectures in what we call the World Intellectual Property Day, 26th of April of every year, about 3 or 4 times in the last 10 years in this institution. So the important thing is what you guys have started. That's for people to be aware of exactly what do we need. How can we really stamp our authority when it comes to the issue of patenting? So people must learn how to. These institutions, Beijing University, MIT, Stanford, that I've visited, where they generate like 1 or 2 patents per day, how do they do it? We know that we have talent in abundance. We have highly intelligent people around here, highly creative people around here. Professor Aderounmu, I'm sure he didn't go to the details, but if you see the tech space today, the startup space today, out of the top 20 in Nigeria, 6 graduated from OAU, have the record. So the point I'm making at the end of the day is it something that we are saying strategically we should move forward with? Do we want patent or to be part of our strength going forward? That's number one. And I'm saying this because I had DVC academics with us. When we, it's only in the last few years that we established the Research and Innovation DVC. It's important. I think one of the reasons is to elaborate, to bring up, raise the awareness regarding patenting. It's so critically important for institutions of our status, Obafemi Awolowo University, to raise the bar. Now, all along, up to now, I've only had a mention of the IPTTO, Intellectual Property Technology Transfer Office, only once from one of the 2 speakers, only once in almost 1 hour, 20 minutes. It's not possible. Something is not right somewhere. So we're saying that we still have a lot of learning to do. I'm happy that Professor Jegede is online from UK. I don't know whether he will have 1 or 2 comments to make because he left here for UK, and we were together in the last 2 weeks outside Nigeria. So these are issues that we have to address. Let's just appreciate the 2 panelists, because I know them very well, especially Professor Sanni. Together we developed a model for commercializing research outputs in Nigeria. 3 stages we identified. These we have discussed separately, so I don't have the time to discuss that. But the issue is that I'm happy that Professor Aderounmu is available and is listening, so that the university can do something. We need to do something about that, because in terms of ranking of our institution, it's a major consideration. It's a major consideration, just like how many graduates do we produce in a year? How many first-class graduates do we produce in a year? How many of them are going into ICT firms, top-rated ICT firms in a year? These are things that a part of the criteria that they look at. Patenting is crucial. It's so crucially important to institutions. But we have to learn how to scale it up. This is the problem. I want to appreciate you because I'm just about leaving now for the opportunity to have this word or two. So, like I said, let's go through a patent record. There are more than millions of patents. Less than 7% of them are commercialized. Why is that? And that's the question Prof was asking earlier on. So, for us to be turning knowledge to wealth, it has to be a deliberate effort. The search for patenting and the right kind of patent is what we are talking about. And I hope we'll have another platform to discuss this in detail within our institution. Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. I know that you're already a professor, the way you are looking, and so my best wishes. And so thanks so much, Prof. I hope you are still there, the DVC academic.
Prof is always with us.
If he's still there, I'm just challenging him now to look at the moderator. Please, let's do something. Thank you so much. Madam Bolakwasi, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you to everyone. I really enjoyed it.
We'll bring you one day. We'll bring you as a keynote speaker, sir.
Don't worry about that.
Some of us may not know Professor Willie Siyanbola. He was a one-time the Director General of a National Center for Technology Management. He was there for 9 years, and he changed the paradigm in the whole of that institution. And today,
that knowledge to be shared here.
It's a different ballgame entirely now. So we really appreciate to have him also on board with us, because Aderounmu is a plus for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Best wishes.
Let me quickly allow. We are going to the Q&A session now. Please prepare your questions. I've seen a few questions there, and I don't want us to go beyond the time that we have scheduled. But then we are going to extend the time by another 10 minutes to permit us. So that means in the next 15 minutes we are closing this event. But then straight away I'm going to begin to talk about read the questions apparently, and then if you have 1 or 2 questions, we could raise up your hand as well while we permit you to speak straight away. But let me quickly ask.
My moderator, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Professor Siyanbola made a request that we permit Professor Jegede to say something.
And that's what I'm about to say, as well as Dr. Caleb as well. I think I saw his hand as well. Please, maximum of 2 minutes. Please, just type in something. Let's hear your voice. Let's hear your voice. Professor Jegede, over there, please. Can you? Okay, I have to ask you to unmute. Let me search 2 seconds. Okay, you can do that just now. You can unmute yourself now. Professor Jegede. Are you there? You can unmute now. Hello. Okay, while he's warming up, let's ask Dr. Caleb to unmute and then speak to us in 2 minutes to just chip in. Why are we calling these people? Because they're also professionals.
Thank you very much.
Line of patenting. Thank
Hello.
you. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I really appreciate the 2 speakers that have been brought on board for their comments. I've been following since the beginning. And of course, the intervention of Professor Aderounmu was also on point, because OAU IPTTO has long been there for the inventors and of course innovators within the university since around 2010-11. So, but the point is, to what extent has the OAU IPTTO be of relevance to your innovation today? That's one. I mean, to Professor Sanni and of course to Professor Morakinyo. How has OAU IPTTO been of assistance even to you and their contribution even to your innovation? It is true, they don't provide the funding even to support the patenting in terms of filing a patent. So you pay out of pockets and the likes. So, but to some extent, in one way or the other, I know they have provided some services even to you. So that's one. Then secondly, how far have you gone with scaling your business in terms of the commercialization of your inventions per se? So how far have you gone? What are the obstacles and challenges which can provide the practical, learning processes even for everyone on the platform? Because we celebrate your journey, and at the same time we want to learn even from your experience as you have gone. So I will limit it to that. If I have the opportunity again, I can then bring my own comment.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, at some point I didn't hear you, but I'm sure our panelist is likely to hear all your questions. Professor Morakinyo, sir, can you respond to some of these things in the next 3 minutes, so that we can begin to take two questions?
Thank you so much, my moderator. I'm tendering my apology because I'm not thinking in that direction. Thank you for helping me. I'm talking about, everything is on finance. That is very, very important. For academic, like somebody like me that just came from industry, and I have many things to do regards to my grown-up children, and I come here having a novel idea and nothing elsewhere. Even when I want to apply for university grant, they said, since you are not doing it here, you can't get it. Even also, they said, because you are not a member. So this was very hard. This was very hard for me to have to do all those things that I did to help myself out. Notwithstanding, the university are very helpful, even creating the platform for me to be trained at Warima. I can't forget that one. That when Professor Ilori was the IPTTO director, he took me to Ibadan, and we were there for a week. So very helpful, really grateful. Not only that, several times, even the present director has organized online discussion with the customers that want to bid for the boiler, that want to bid for palm oil processing mill. Even outside the country, we have done a lot of, a lot of deliberations here, Ghana, Africa, whatever. Are you hearing me? Am I speaking to the audience?
Yes, we can hear you.
But that is at long run, because of I don't know the reason why, nothing whatsoever worked out, except few ones that really work out for me to penetrate industry with my boiler. I supply a processing company in Ogun State, Aderounmu, to process, this what they call it, cowpea. It came through Professor Taiwo that introduced me to the man. So we were able to deliver. And the machine the boiler is still working. And several other grants that we won through the boiler, where we have a lot of challenges. Number one is that when you give the concept to the people and you tell them, they come around to see this is how it works, they will tell you they don't have money. They don't have money. Then another thing is that I was opportune to go, to attend this NCC workshop in Lagos. And I presented renewable energy concept of generating electricity through the biomass. And wonderfully, they wrote me and they said they are coming. But by the time they invited me, they said I should sign to drop my patent and they will give me 10 million naira. All these kind of challenges are there. That's why I said initially, people are not to support. They're just to take it from you. And that is Africanism. It's not helpful. We have a lot of challenges where we are two, Professor Sanni, we are co-researchers and we work together to handle many other industry designs or whatever. We are still pushing forward to make our the invention commercialized. But we are commercializing it. It may not be in the way that we really dream of. For me, my own side, I'm dreaming of to energize even the bigger places and to generate electricity, whatever. But I'm praying that we come to. The problem is that our people does not believe in us. That is the problem. They don't believe. They believe to take their money and go and import that thing that is not even good. That is not even if not, that's not good really. But even to have the technology to maintain it, I talk about local content. When you have a local content, any problem arises, they will solve it for you. When you go abroad, you go and bring it. Ordinary dryer, they will go abroad to go and bring it. That is the challenge we are facing. Africanism.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. I quite understand that, and I quite agree with you that we usually believe in foreign technologies than our local technologies. Once we know that it's local, it's coming from here, we don't want to value it. But another thing that I think that is very important due to few experiences that one has had is that is this challenge of inclusivity. We need to carry them along from the beginning. Once they are carried along from the beginning, then they know what we are developing. They know what we are thinking. So they will already be expecting the result as well. You know, so it is not enough for us to just sit in the laboratory in our classrooms alone to carry out research without thinking about the people that will benefit from. So I think it's very important. This will be a very good lesson for some of us as well that will be thinking along that pathway. Thank you. I think Professor Jegede can speak now. I've made you a co-host, so you'll be able to unmute yourself now and speak to us.
Thank you very much, Prof. I greet everybody in attendance. I acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Vice Chancellor, the Director of ISPI. I'd like to just mention two things very quickly. Both of them are centered around policies. When we say policy, we could look at it from policies within the university or within the NUC generally. As an entity, and then policy, maybe a national policy. I worked at NACETEM, and Professor Siyanbola was my mentor. And then there at NACETEM, we did two things while I was there. Number one, we developed STI indicators for the country and then STI policy for the country. Now, if we would leverage on these two, the indicators that are used to measure productivity in the universities is still very, very, very skewed, or still kind of myopic. The emphasis lies on publication. But what about patents? What is the equivalent of one patent? Is one patent equivalent to 3 publications or 10 publications going for patents? If one would go for promotion, if one would become a professor, how much patents will be required? Or how much, I mean, the patent must be in the same rank with research grants, or must be in the same category with publications, or with numbers of PhD students graduated. So if there's a reward system towards getting patent, I think more and more lecturers will be involved, and then that will also help the economic growth of the country, and it also provide financial reward for those that are doing research. The second would be around national policy. How strong are the institutions that are supposed to support research? The research institutions that we have, or the quality infrastructure that we have. For instance, there has been a mention of IPTTO today. In our office, in the IPTTO office in OAE today, what is the strength of that unit? How much money, how much support can that unit provide to the whole university? If we were to take a cross-section of the number of staff working there, maybe one director, maybe 2 admin staff, maybe 1 or 2 planning or research staff there, and that's it. How can that small unit of workers serve the whole university? Even if it's just advice or filing patent or, I mean, doing their normal work, would that unit, is it equipped enough? Is it sufficient enough in terms of human resources to meet the needs of the university? If all the researchers in Faculty of Agric, Engineering, Science were to, need support with patent application and filing and processing, then in terms of financial support, does he receive any money to support researchers? So these are some of the big questions that we need to ask. And the mapping that the Deputy Vice Chancellor research is here. And these are some of the policy issues that need to be fixed, so that researchers really get reward for their hard work. It is indeed a certain to realize that a lot of people are so skilled, people are hardworking, but then the reward for their labor is not really there, is really poor. As I close this afternoon, I'd like to say, today I'm working in the UK. I've worked in the UK for the past 5 years. Prior to that, I worked in South Africa for 4 years. And I'm proud to say that my first degree, second degree, and third degree was gotten from Obafemi Awolowo University from AISPI. No additional degrees. But today, that degree, those degrees that I got from OAU positioned me to work as a global talent across the world. That's answered the question of why, if we are so smart, why aren't we so rich? So sometimes it is not in our hands as researchers. We may be restricted as a result of policies and a result of institutional factors that are not quite supportive. And this is one of the reasons why we are saying we are still poor. And I hope that things will change because more and more policymakers are getting involved in this discourse. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that submission. For some of you that may be on board that you are interested in coming into ISP for our programs, you can see one of our products. He just said it by his mouth. We can hear it from him. His second degree, third degree was also gotten from ISP. So that way you know that you know what we're doing and you know some of the things that we can do. So the form is right out now. If you want to come in for your master's, for your PhD, is right about the right time for you to do that. The PG College has opened that, so you can file it in again and you'll be good to go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask our prof to speak now, Professor Aderounmu, to speak to some of these policy issues as regards in the university. And then let me quickly add this question so that at least he can join his response. Join this with his response. Somebody put on the platform, he wants to know that how much does it take to, that is, I'm not going to talk about the aspects of the how much does it take to apply. Professor Morakinyo will tell us about that. But I'm going to talk about the second part, which says who pays the bill of the application of patents? Is it the inventor or the university? Who pays the bill of the application of patent? Is it the inventor or the university? And then another question, another rider to that is, do we have, I think I saw it somewhere also, do we have a policy in the policy in the university for how the proceed from the patents is going to be distributed among the university, between the university and the inventor? Do we have a standard policy document or procedure that will dictate what is going to be the percentage of what goes to the inventor and the percentage of the proceed that will also go to the university? Because we believe that there is a time of the university, the infrastructure of the university, where they are putting all of these things together. So we don't think that it should be for the inventor alone. So, but then the sharing formula, what is the standard that we have? What are the policies that are in place? Do we have any, and what are they? Prof, sir, thank you so much, Professor Aderounmu. You are the only one capable to respond to us on this, and we're glad to have you. You can unmute yourself now, sir. You are a host.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Dr. Auleye, for the good coordination. And I want to say that I was off for some time, but when I got back, I tried to listen to one of your products that said it graduated from OAU, first degree, second degree, third degree from ISP, and is really doing well in that place. I'm so happy. And I want to put a question to him. So on the basis of what you've acquired here, what have been your contribution to ISP in OAU? That is number one question I want to push to him. Number two is that, can you compare the environment you are there and the environment we are here? That's number two question. And you see, we need to be very careful, in the way we look at things in the university system. Number one, when you look at the university system, what are the sources of funding for Obafemi Awolowo University? Then we talk of IGR, we talk of needs assessment, we talk of need test fund, we talk of some other funding coming from the government. How regular are these funding from the federal government? If regular, the modality, the mode of disbursement, you should also understand all these ones. Then in terms of IGR, you are within the system. Can you identify the sources of IGR for the university? Remove the students. We have population of how many students now? How much are they paying in terms of tuition fee? How much are they paying in terms of tuition fee? When you are talking of funding of university system in Nigeria, how much are they paying? And how much are we generating Hello?
Hi,
Yeah,
sir.
we can hear you, Prof.
Hello, now university is paying probably about 200 million naira every month on electricity. Multiply that 200 million by 12. That is 2.4 billion. Calculate the amount of money being paid by the student alone. Just for their it's not tuition fee now. Calculate it. You see up to 2.4 billion. Then mention the sources of other ideas that we are talking about in university. So everybody must come together and work to ensure that we make this university a reality. Now, I still want to also appreciate the management of the university, also the IPTTO. They've been doing a very wonderful work. Now they develop a digital platform where you can showcase a lot of your products, and then you can get people to buy into what you are trying to do. And that one will bring a lot of money to the university. They got some people to finance that project, to ensure that that link is up and running. It was launched about a month ago, and I'm sure that a lot of people are there now. So I just want to say that the environment is there, but we have to work together to ensure that we make things happen here. Now, in the last few years now, we had the opportunity of getting a lot of TED fund grants by our people. So many of us got the TED fund grant. And instead for us to even use it to do research, we are fighting on it. A case is of that of AISPI. So you don't put any responsibility on university at all. You put responsibility or whatever that's happening on individual. We have a lot of our people that got grants from TED fund, and they are making good use of those funds from TED fund and even from other sources. So you understand. So the university is also trying its best to ensure that we support a lot of our younger colleagues to move to the next level. But I'm saying that we also need to really support ourselves, and that's how I'm saying that the guy that spoke last, he should tell us, compare OAU and where he is now and see the budgetary allocation in that place compared to what is happening to us in OAU. So you see, it's good for you to also go out there to, because you have a lot of skills, and then they discover that you are very sound, this and that. Eventually, they put you into a lot of things. But the point now is they have different funding sources, even from their government, even grants all over the place. But in Nigerian context, how many? So we want to really appreciate our people here because they are more intelligent. They are really working hard to ensure that they get a lot of things to themselves. And then university is also working hard to ensure that they are creating that enabling environment for our researchers to survive. And that is why for now, you can also see the management looking at different other sources of funding. For example, the management is looking at endowment fund. Because that's the only way you can go. Endowment fund. If, for example, you are able to attract endowment fund of about, let's say 1 billion naira, that generates a lot of interest in a year. And that can support a lot of activities in the university. For example, now I'm happy to announce that by April 2nd now, Micron Cable is trying to launch 150 million endowment fund for Faculty of Technology. And if that one is launched now, every year now, the interest is around 11 million naira. That will be used to support a lot of things within the Faculty of Technology, research, scholarship, and a lot of things. So these are the areas where the university is looking at now, going out to attract a lot of our partners, a lot of our alumni, to support research, to support teaching, to support enabling the environment. So, and we have to really come together to work on this. With respect to the policy that you mentioned in terms of the sharing formula, I think we need to ask Professor Morakinyo and Professor Sanni in terms of their experiences, because at least they've had a lot of patents with, coordinated by the university in the last 5 years. And then we can now ask them whether there is a policy, because, I'm not DVC Research, Innovation and Development. So I cannot say with confidence that maybe the policy is there or not, but I'm sure that there should be a working model for the university. The university is also looking at a situation whereby, for example, if you are able to attract this so much grant to the university, this is what is going to you. Because people believe that when I bring my grant to the university, nothing happens to it, it's not benefiting, it's not. But this management is saying, no, bring in your grant to the university, let's look at it and let's look at how we can also partner with you so that it can be a win-win situation. Because without the name of the university, you cannot even get the grant. Number one, you cannot say your address in the Sabo, Ile-Ife. They won't give you. But when you see Obafemi Awolowo University, see the guy that spoke the other time, because he graduated from OAU and then he has that intellect. He's making wave in that place. So I just want to encourage us that university is also working, but we have to also come together to ensure that we are also committed. Because I'm aware of a lot of our people with grants. Okay, they are using the name of the university to collect the grant, but the grant is not sitting in the university. And you want OAU to develop, it can't work. Cannot work. So people will just sit down there, blaming the university, blaming everybody to say management this, management that. However, you blaming the university now, you are the cause of the problem. So I think we need to come together now and let's see how we can move the university to the next level. And the management is open to most of these things that we are discussing today. Honestly, the priority of the university management is how can we get funding to support a lot of our researchers, especially the younger generations. Because if we want to move this university forward, most of these new staff, we must show them the road to ensure that if you're able to get very good grant, you can develop yourself, you can create wealth, you can also support your university. So on this note, I want to say that I want to appreciate everybody, thank the institute, ISP, but I want to encourage us to say, let us be more committed to what we are trying to do in the university. Commitment is key. And as I used to tell so many people, money is not everything in life, okay? If you are committed and you are doing well, even if you don't need to even travel out of this country, people will locate you wherever you are. And I can show you an example of the World Bank project we are doing here. It has been renewed for more than 4 times, and I'm sure that the next one we are going on is going to be renewed. It's as a result of commitment, and also to be ensured that we are transparent and we can account for everything that we are giving. So, and that is why we are moving. So now we still have a lot of other grant that is coming in now within this ICT part. It's a result of the commitment. We are not going anywhere. We are still in this country, and we are attracting a lot of funds to ourselves. So I want to encourage and appreciate all of us. We have grants, we have this idea, we have that idea. Let us come back again to sit down and see how can we make sure that this thing works so that you can be at the next level. So once again, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. So much, I didn't prepare for all these things. I just said, let me join you and listen to what people are saying.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you.
You already pushed me into a lot of things. Thank you so much.
He's already in you, sir. You don't have to prepare before.
Our DVC card. Well done.
Thank you.
We quite appreciate you, sir. Yes, as we are planning to round off now, we'll just attend to 1 or 2 questions, and then I'll ask Professor Morakinyo to speak to give us advice.
Professor Sanni's hand is up. It has been up since.
Is it back? Is Professor Sanni back?
Yes.
Professor Sanni, is it back?
Yes.
That's interesting. We are glad to have that. That's very interesting. 2 seconds, sir. So somebody was asking that, is there any cost of maintaining a patent for those 20 years? No. The answer is no. Once you have your patent, is a document with you. Unless you want to keep that document in the bank, that's when you have to pay for keeping it in the bank for that period. But I don't think it's like our normal PhD, BSc, MSc certificates, which you can also keep with those ones as well. Unless if you are keeping those ones as well in the bank, that's when you can then match that with it and then pay for that cost. Or ordinarily, you don't need to service it, whether with any organization that issued it or NOTAP or whatever. No, you don't have to. So it's free. Yes, and then the other question here, it's yes, Professor Sanni, sir, we have lost you for some minutes. We will permit you to speak now to just give us 1 or 2 things on some of the things you have in mind, especially regarding some of these things we have discussed, especially commercialization, so that we can close in the next 7 minutes thereabouts. Over to you, sir. You can unmute and speak. You should be able to do that. surprised. You can do that now, sir. You can unmute now.
All right. Thank you. I've been back for quite a while,
No,
but I'm sure you didn't see my hand raised up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Of course, I've been back even since the moment that Professor Aderounmu gave his first contribution, as well as Professor Siyanbola, and I followed the arguments quite closely. And of course, when Professor Jegede came on board from UK, you see, I'm very happy that today's discourse is generating a lot of interest. I'm happy that Professor Aderounmu, my very good friend, the BBC academics, who is an epitome of innovation that we're talking about. You can see what he has transformed African Center of Excellence into, and we want more and more of that. But the point is that that is an ICT-based research output. Let me put it that way. Now we have units within the university. Agricultural engineering, for instance, is a department of intellectual experts in different fields. We have the likes of Professor Olarafe, the likes of Professor Fabrode, who have made a lot of impact in the past. And then we have me. I can tell you honestly, I am not poor. I must say that emphatically, and I am making money from my intellectual property. But the point is that how am I able to achieve this? It's a rough, long process, no doubt, because yes, when I was carrying out some research work for my PhD, I got a grant for it, then even bought some of the equipment from the grant to be able to conduct that PhD. Thank God the PhD product is out in the market today, and I have made some sales. But if I had not established a startup in 2010, which is today a CAC registered company, I will have remained poorer and then depend on my salary. But today, by the grace of God, I can't even live on my salary or my take-home pay from this university. That's the truth of the matter, and that's the reality that we're all facing. I may not be there to become a very big billionaire or so. Commercialization does not really make you a billionaire. There are samples all over the world about people or research outputs that have been commercialized. Commercialization simply means that your research output is out there in the market, and some industries are using it. They may not be making money yet from it. We've had people that the money from research output came many years after they were dead or they were gone. And the same thing can happen to us. And we have to have a system that has a deliberate effort, that's putting a deliberate structure in place. Just like Professor Siyanbola has mentioned, this is very important. But it is like, yes, after making use of the university laboratory, the patent comes in the name of the university, blah, blah, blah. Then what is next? I asked Professor Ogbono, because we have made patent granting now a ceremony in this university. All people who get a patent in a particular year are put together, taken to floor O, then you have a handshake with the Vice Chancellor as he hands you the certificate. That certificate is worthless. It's like tissue paper if you don't do anything about it. And I can remember that very year, I asked Professor Ogbono, he's also like an Ogbono to me, that after you have given me this paper, sir, what is the next thing? What am I expected to do with it? And it's like a rhetoric question that I put back to the Vice Chancellor. What do we do after here? The IPTTO office lives within its mandate, and they have done so fantastically well. I mean, I've attended quite a number of programs with them. But what has happened to our linkages office in this university? The linkages office is supposed to be the one linking industries with the universities, with the different units, with the researchers in the university. But the point that Professor Morakinyo was trying to make is that researchers are now left on their own after the patent. So we must encourage, we must put a structure in place. The university can create or empower units like IPTTO or the linkages office to say that, because you see, the certificate called a patent certificate is like your paycheck. You can use it, you can walk into any industry, and that is what I've done on my own, not with any university support. I wish I had the director of linkages to go with me and say, okay, so I have to identify the companies that have the potential to use my products at the end of the day. The university won't do that for you. But talking about scaling, somebody mentioned it. How have we scaled? I think it was Dr. Aderounmu. My startup company that I set up in 2010 was supposed to incubate my research products and all that. 2010 was a long time ago. I'm not sure we even had the research policy. But today, I can tell you that that company has grown into a limited liability company. I have a management team. I have a chairman of a board. We're not making fantastic money yet, but we're making money. We are scaling. And only God knows what will happen in the next 5 years. But the truth of the matter is that if I didn't have that platform, that outfit, I would have remained just like any other professor in agricultural engineering, struggling to make ends meet at the end of every month. How many research grants do we get? You write a proposal that is worth 100 million, TED Fund will give you 35 million. The university will first cut off 5% of it. Then what do you do with 30 million? What can 30 million do? So these are some of the frustrations and some of the challenges, that we have as researchers. We must not write off the fact that, because I don't also ask, why do we have so many patents and we're not making so much money? And that's a very, very, very valid question. So the researchers must be coordinated in such a way that a research output that has led into a patent must be encouraged to start making money for the university. I was part of the committee that reviewed the university research policy. And we did a lot of things. Professor Adedeji of the Faculty of Law was also on that committee. And we did a lot to make sure that, look, we put something that will encourage researchers. But the point is that when we're not making money from our research outputs, what are we going to share? What are we going to share? So there must be a deliberate structure. We must do something. We must create a structure that will popularize our I'm happy with what IPTTO has done by creating a platform where you can post your product. It's like helping us to advertise. Today, I use social platform to advertise my product, and I get a lot of responses from the industry. I can tell you there are 3-4 big companies that I'm talking to today. So my startup, in fact, what I have said here is that how can research output be commercialized? And I'm happy that the moderator also mentioned partnerships, startups, licensing, spin-offs. These are legitimate things that researchers can do. You can start your own business around your research products and make money. Let me tell you, it is more difficult for a Lever Brothers in Lagos to come and say, Obafemi Awolowo University has developed a product and we want to buy it. But I have found out from my own personal experience, it has been easier for me as a founder CEO of Sandel Engineering. I've spoken directly with big CEOs.
Is it only me that could not hire Prof again?
Sorry? Can you hear me, sir? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. You can
continue. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to conscientize our emotions, our consciences, to make sure that, look, we do something as a university. But by the grace of God, I am not a hungry professor, and I will never be one. And I'm making my legitimate money from research outputs. A lot of research that I do, I have a research laboratory as part of the organs of my company in Sandel Engineering. African Center of Excellence, for instance, is a center that incubates entrepreneurs, is a center that helps young entrepreneurs to scale their opportunity, and then they build businesses around it. I have once asked a question: why don't we allow staff researchers to also have spaces in that center? Rather than me forming a startup on my own, establishing a company, I'm just lucky that my company is scaling. A lot of research outputs have died along the line just because there's nothing to do. And they are fantastic outputs, fantastic research works that could have been taken up by the industry. A lot of the young people that were incubating in African Center of Excellence today, in the next 5 years after they are graduated, are not going to be here anymore. They're going to find their way out. And this is exactly what we're saying.
And I agree absolutely with Professor Siyanbola that the university must put in place a formidable structure, a deliberate structure that is going to help research output. And now that we have a DVC DIR, how much money, the university should be interested in how much money they can make from these patents. Yes, we have endowments, people bring in a lot of money to build structures and all that. What percentage of these monies go for research activities in the various units in the university? So these are, questions that we must ask ourselves, and we must try as much as possible to make sure that we, genuinely and sincerely, find answers to these questions. I hope I'm able to, delve on a lot of issues around. There are so many other questions that I believe that maybe the next discussion.
You have really dealt with a number of things in that very short time. This is very interesting, and this is the best time for us to conclude. This is a good point for us to suspend this meeting. We have spent like 2 hours now on the dot. I wouldn't like to continue to hold it on because we have said that the maximum we're going to be spending is 2 hours, 120 minutes, 90 to 120 minutes. And I think we have exhausted that now. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll use this time to appreciate our panelists for the drive, for the commitments. Professor Morakinyo, we quite appreciate you. Professor Sanni, we quite appreciate you. And we appreciate our DVC in particular. The last time that we held it, it was with us throughout as well. Today, again, he has been with us. That is to show that, we are really learning a lot from you, sir. And we can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. And we also appreciate Professor Siyanbola as well, who has been with us also from the beginning. And all our professors as well that we have mentioned, and those that we have not even mentioned, Professor Margaret Jegede, Professor Luwale, and so many other people. And then I think I also saw another person, Dr. Bayo Lugbemi. We quite appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, and God bless you. We have to leave now. We are going to be seeing our advert again for the next in the series of our webinar. This one is a very quick one. It's coming up in next month, apparently, before the next one. We already have another person that is coming for the next one, who is an international person as well. So we are going to be seeing an advert regarding this. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Amen. Bye.
You can just for me to say bye-bye, and then you can release your screen so that we can see your face.
God bless you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm.